Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, this is another stitch that it's easy for you guys, the beginners. This is called the linked half double crochet. So if you like to work with half double crochet and you don't want, well, when you do this, it's a little bit higher, I don't know, than normal, let's say, if you do half double crochet. Well, I'm gonna show you at the end of this tutorial. Some of you, Peggy, you ask me about to put some details, you know, when I do the video, how to, you know, the yarn or many things about the size of the yarn or whatever. And I'm gonna show you the trouble that I have here in Japan. Yeah, so, well, it's not you know, difficult for me here in Japan because I know what I want to do, the size of the yarn or how the yarn, how thick or thin it is. But for you, when I do a tutorial for you guys, you ask me many times, many of you, how to, you know, the yarn size or whatever, and I don't know, Japan is different, yeah. But I will show you that at the end of this tutorial. So this is the linked half double crochet. It's very easy. It's like that, you know, double crochet linked. So with this stitch you can chain any numbers of chain you like to chain, even numbers, odd numbers, it doesn't matter. So I chain here 14. So I'm gonna skip the first, we're gonna skip the first chain, this one, and in the second chain we're gonna go in there, insert your hook, pull up a loop, then go into the next chain and pick up a loop. You have 3 loops, and then we're gonna grab the yarn and pull the yarn through all these 3 loops. And if you see here, you have 3 bars, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go into the last, we're gonna skip these first 2 bars, and in the last we're gonna go in there, insert your hook underneath that bar, pick up a loop, then we're gonna move to the next chain and we're gonna pick up a loop. We have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pull the yarn through all these 3 loops, and again we're gonna skip the first 2 bars, and in the third we're gonna go underneath that, pick up a loop, and then move to the next chain, pick up a loop. You have 3 loops, then pull the yarn through all these 3 loops, and again we're gonna skip the first 2 bars, and in the last bar, this one, we're gonna insert our hook, pick up a loop, and when you go to the next chain, this is the one, the bar that you gonna insert. So leave a little bit loose this bar, let's say. If you work tight, you're gonna struggle getting in. So we're gonna skip the first 2 bars, and in the third one we're gonna insert our hook there, pull up a loop, move to the next chain, and this is the one that it's gonna, you know, you're gonna go underneath that bar. So pull the yarn through all 3 loops, and again you're gonna go to the last bar, insert your hook under that bar, move to the next, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pull the yarn through all these 3 loops, and again we're gonna skip the first 2 bars, and in the last one, the third one here, well, in a way it's the first bar from to your left. Well, if you're right-handed, anyway. Okay, you pull up a loop, you move to the next chain, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pull the yarn through all 3 loops, and again we skip the first 2 bars, and in the last one we insert our hook, pull up a loop, move to the next chain, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops, pull the yarn through all these 3 loops, and again we're gonna skip the first 2 bars, and in the last one, the third one, well, you're gonna go in there, pull up a loop, move to the next chain, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pull the yarn through all these 3 loops, and again we're gonna go to the last bar, insert your hook underneath there, pull up a loop, move to the next chain, pull up a loop, you have 3 loops. So remember that the third one that you pull the loop is this one that we're gonna go that under that line, yeah. So if you work too tight, you're gonna struggle. So go underneath that line, pull up a loop, move to the next chain, pull up a loop. You have 3. Pull the yarn through all these 3 loops, and again you're gonna go under the last line or bar, pick up a loop. The last chain is here, we go into the last chain and we pick up a loop, and then pull the yarn through the last 3, well, the 3 loops. It's gonna look like this. And then each time you're gonna chain 2. Well, when you chain 2, the first chain, leave it a little bit loose. Then the second chain, turn your work, and now we're gonna work into this chain 2 that we made. So we're gonna skip the first chain, and in the second chain, which is the first chain that we do, that's why I said leave it a little bit loose, it's gonna be easy to go in. So go in there into the first chain here, pick up a loop. The first stitch is here, we go in there, pick up a loop. We have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pull the yarn through all 3 loops. Then again 3 bars, 1, 2 and 3. We're gonna skip the first 2, we go into the third. Insert your hook underneath that line, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop. You have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pull the yarn through the 3 loops. And you're gonna do like this. You're always gonna work into that third bar, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, and so on. Well, if some of you work tight, make sure that when you go into the next stitch and you pull up a loop, make sure that this loop, this one, it's a little bit loose, that you will, it's gonna be easy for you to get in. So you go underneath that, the third line, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, grab the yarn through those 3 loops, and you're gonna do like this. You're gonna work always in that third bar and into the next stitch. You go into the last bar there, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, pass the yarn through the 3 loops, and so on. Move to the next stitch. Yeah, it's very easy. Whatever easy and fast project you want to do, and you don't want something complicated, I think this stitch is very easy, especially for you guys, the beginners. So you go underneath, you skip the first, second bar, and in the third one, the first one from your left, let's say if you're right-handed, and you have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pull the yarn through all 3 loops, and again we go back into that, we go into that third line, pick up a loop, go into the next stitch, pick up a loop, and so on. So again at the end here, again we're gonna go into the last bar here, underneath that, pick up a loop, the last stitch is here, go in there, pick up a loop, you have 3 loops, pull the yarn through the 3 loops, it's gonna look like this, then chain 2, and always leave this a little bit loose, and chain 2, turn your work, and now we're gonna work into the, let's say, the second chain from the hook. We're gonna skip the first chain and we're gonna work into the second, which is the first chain that you did. So go in there, pick up two loops, pull up a loop, the first stitch is here, go in there, pick up a loop. We have 3 loops, pull the yarn through the 3 loops, and so on. You go again into that third bar, underneath that, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, and it's like this. It's very easy. Yeah, and it still has some ridges, even, this one. I thought maybe only the double crochet will do that, but no, the half double crochet will do that too, some ridges in the middle of the work. So you go into the third bar, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, you have 3, and so on. Well, I'm gonna finish this row, and you always chain 2 at the end. The first chain, leave it a little bit loose. If you work too tight, that will be easy for you to get in. So you always go into the third bar, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, grab the yarn and pull the yarn through all those 3 loops, and so on. It's so easy. I think it's much easier with this half double crochet than the linked double crochet. So we reach the end. Again, you go into the last bar, pick up a loop, the last stitch is here, pick up a loop, do the half double crochet, then chain 2 a little bit loose, this one, turn your work, and we're gonna skip the first chain, and in the second we're gonna go in there, pick up a loop, the first stitch is here, pick up a loop, 3 loops, and so on. We skip the first 2 bars, and in the third we insert our hook there, pick up a loop, move to the next stitch, pick up a loop, and so on. It's very easy, this one. It's gonna look like this. Well, this is a small sample, but you know, if you want, you can work, you know, with a tighter, not tighter, but I worked with the 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. You can, if you want, because it has some holes a little bit. Yeah, if you want, you can work with a, let's say 4.5 or 4 millimeter crochet hook, and the work is going to be much tighter. Yeah, if you want. Yeah, it's very nice, and it has this. It's like, well, ridges in a way. Yeah, on the, and it's reversible. Well, you know, I wanted to talk about the, you know, when you guys want me to show you the yarn size. In Japan, Japan doesn't use yarn size. Yeah, for example, this I worked with this, which sometimes they will say in English something, but sometimes they will say nothing. It's all in Japanese. So it says acrylic yarn. Yeah. When it comes for the yarn size, like you guys in the United States or Canada, England, maybe Europe, even Brazil works, you know, labels the yarn size by numbers. Here in Japan, they will tell you medium thickness or thin. This one, it sucks. I have no idea what this word means. I don't know. But there is, for example, this one, yeah, and it says bulky cotton yarn. Yeah, and it's always in Japan, it's either grams or meters. They will not give you yards, because in United States, for example, they will give you maybe the meters and the yards. But here in Japan, nope, it's just meters, grams, and end of the story. So in here, might tell you the crochet number that you might use, how many balls of whatever this, if you want to do whatever, a scarf, a purse, whatever. But, you know, and sometimes they will not say much, even in English. So this one, well, this one has no words in English. Nothing. Absolutely no word in English. The only thing that it will, because I learned that this looks like a P. I learned that this one is A, the letter A. So I, you know, automatically I know that it's acrylic. Well, you touch the yarn and you know, yeah, somehow. And it's only 68 meters. That's all that I can figure out. And the crochet hook, that it's number 8, 8/0, and that's it. And you know, they don't even say it's thick, it's thin, it's chunky, it's whatever. I have to, you know, for me it's easy. I know what I want. But if I have to explain to you, many of you ask me, give me the yarn size, and I'm like, I don't know. Japan doesn't use it. Or this one, they will tell you medium thickness, and of course acrylic yarn. They will tell you rose pink. And this one, for example, it's medium thick deodorant. I have no idea. What do they mean by this deodorant? No, I don't know. And it says Hawaiian blue, and of course acrylic, and they will give you, oh boy, oh, in here somewhere, it's 5/0, 6/0, I think, the crochet hook number, and so on. But you know, this is it. And this is, I think it's made in, it's imported from Brazil, but you know, Brazil using the numbers on the yarn size, Japan doesn't, so the labeling has to be according to the Japanese rules, whatever. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes I just cannot tell you the size because I don't know. Like this one, the only thing that it says, I think, in English, yep, everything it's in, and this is wool. It says 100% pure wool. And it says the knitting 5/7, the number, and the crochet hook 4/0, 5/0. And that's about it. I don't know. They say something, you know, in Japanese, but I cannot read it. So, you know, so let's say this is an orange color, whatever. But that's about it. So I can't tell you the size of the yarn. It's bulky cotton yarn. Yeah. Well, it looks bulky, this, and it's cotton. So you can do something that it's sturdy and, you know, hard in a way. And, you know, the only English words is like, please wash it one by one to avoid fading. Hand wash, cold, whatever. It's just the instruction. But when you need the other information, they don't tell you. And it's, at least it says mint, you know, the color. But some of them, they will not say anything. Nothing. So I have another one. I don't know where I put it. It's a very thin yarn, and it says nothing in English. So I have no idea. And you know, this P, it's the letter A. The way, because Japanese language is phonetical. It's not like the English language with, you say the letter A makes the sound of A or A. No, Japan has A, and that's it. Yeah, A, B, K, D. They don't have B, C, D, whatever, you know, how is the English language. But, you know, that's why sometimes I cannot figure out even unless I touch the yarn, I will know what kind of, you know, it's acrylic, it's wool, it's cotton, it's mohair, whatever that is. But the yarn size, nope. They will not, Japan doesn't use that. I asked them at the store and they said, no, we use just medium thick, chunky, bulky, thin, and that's it. Yeah. Well, for me it's not a problem, but for you guys, if I want to explain to you what kind of yarn, even the crochet hooks here in Japan differ than American ones. Yeah. So if I tell you, you know, the number of the crochet hook and not being the same size or the same numbers, you might be upset with me because, you know, maybe your work it's too loose with too many holes for whatever, you know. And sometimes, you know, I will suggest for a scarf or a blouse how much yarn you might need, but I will have to say it in grams or meters because I don't know in yards, or I don't know that. Even in my country, we learn, we are on the system with the metric liters, not yards or ounces or pounds or that kind of thing. So yeah, please, I'm sorry, do understand that I cannot tell you. I will tell you thick, medium thick. To you, medium thick might means like, what the hell is she talking about? You know, and on the camera you cannot see quite well, because this one, for example, this one, it's a little bit thicker than this one. So for you, I'm gonna just, you know, say not so thick, and this is thick. And you know, if you look at this, they say bulky. For a cotton, yeah, it's bulky. Yeah, but I can't tell you the yarn size, because Japan doesn't use the yarn size. They will tell you just that's it, medium thickness or thick or thin. I never saw on the label thin. You just see that it's thin, and that's it. Okay guys, I talk too much. So this is the linked half double crochet. If you like to do this for any project that it's easy, you want to this, you know, your project to go fast, you can try this this stitch. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Bye.